Hi, my name is Alisher, and I would love to welcome you to our first tutorial. It's going to be a tutorial that will try to answer the question, what is search arbitrage all about? It's just going to be about general themes, how does it work, and how do we make money? So let's get into it. Usually, I like to explain this whole thing by showcasing it as a chain of five major players. Let me show you. It's these five, right? The upstream advertiser, search provider, feed provider, and stream advertiser, and the traffic provider. Now, at this point, it's just names, right? It's just words. Allow me to, while I explain it, also provide you with realistic examples of what and who is it usually is, right? So let's start with the upstream advertiser. I'm just gonna hide myself for a second. There we go. So upstream advertiser, it can be anybody that wants to promote their product, right? It can be someone huge like Samsung that wants to promote their new phones coming out, or it can be someone very small like a local dental clinic in Paris, for example. Yeah. So for our case, I decided to pick a no-name dental clinic, just someone that wants to promote their website, right? So they want to do that. They want to get more customers. So they come to Google. It honestly, they have obviously so many ways to advertise their product, but for the sake of this example, they decided to do it through search, right? They want people to be attracted this way. So they come to Google, aka the search provider. In this case, it can be also Bing, it can be Yahoo, but Google is just the biggest at the moment, so that's why I took it as the example. So our dental clinic in Paris comes to Google and says, we want to promote our website. Google is like, okay, sure. They accept that. They start showing them as sponsored links in their search results and stuff like that. But Google is smart, right? They want to have multiple sources of traffic. They always want to have more. They want to be flexible. And that's why Google decided to make contract with a feed provider, right? There are many feed providers in the field. Just for the sake of this example, I decided to pick Domain Active since we work very closely with them. Their alternatives are Tonic, Body, System One, Cedo. There's like a lot of them, but again, let's focus on Domain Active at the moment, right? So Google came to Domain Active and said, can we have more traffic? Can we be showing our ads more often? Maybe you can provide us with something. And Domain Active said, sure. And they came up with a system where they would be creating pages essentially for Google to show their ads. Let me show you what it looks like. So it looks like this, right? So there's some sort of domain name, there's some sort of website that has these buttons, right? These buttons show up based on many factors, but they will always kind of like, depending on what you want and what Domain Active wants, it will be based on some sort of theming, right? In this case, it's dental implants, it's teeth implants, tooth implants, it doesn't matter. It's just all same vertical, right? So there's these three options that are based on many factors. I will get more in depth about it in our next tutorial, but for now I'm just going to keep it simple. So user decides what they're more interested in. Like maybe they want them cheaper, maybe they want full dental implants for their whole mouth or something like that. I'm not sure, but So they decide what fits them best, and they click one of them, right? So they click, and then they, through a very complex process that again I will get into more detail next time, they see an ad, right? It's basically the same title. It's the same kind of like slogan. There's going to be the website that you would see in your search results, but here they're on a separate page, essentially, right? And if the user finds it interesting, they can click visit website, and they will be appearing at this dental clinics in France. They will be appearing on their website, right? And this is where they can get into contact, heal their teeth, get the appointment, do whatever they want to do, right? And I guess at this point you might have a question of like, well, what's the point of all of this, right? Like, it's just some website somewhere. How do people get here? What is the point? Like, why does it exist? Well, I think it's a reasonable question, and please allow me to explain how does it all work, right? So basically, this is where we come in, right? We, as the end-stream advertisers, help Domain Active by attracting users to pages like this, essentially. We get traffic and we attract people here, right? And we basically, our main goal is to motivate people that come to this page to click visit website. It's up to them to do it, but we can motivate them by bringing them, showing them the right ads. And yeah, that's mostly what we can do. So basically we attract people, users, whoever are like as end-stream advertisers, we attract them to our feed provider, in this case Domain Active, right? We attract them to this page, and every time user clicks website, Google considers this successfully attracted user, right? So mission successful, essentially. So as the result, I will show you like the full chain of how the payments happens. But yeah, another question is, where do we get people that we will attract to this page, right? Well, this is where the last player comes in, but also probably one of the most important ones, which is the traffic provider. It's the tool, the network, whatever it is that will attract people to pages from Domain Active, right? In this case, I decided to pick TikTok. It can be many other ones like Facebook. It can be Instagram. It can be Taboola, and so many other options, right? So basically, a user sees the advertisement on TikTok that was made and picked by us as end-stream advertisers, or Inspiritum, the company that I work with, right? They click on the ad made by us. They go to the page that was made by Domain Active, right? That we also help set up, but again, they host the page essentially. Then on that page, search ads appear from Google, right? And if the user is interested, they finally, in the end of the day, get to the website of the dental clinic that originally started it all, right? Cool. So we kind of like went through the whole chain of how does it work, right? But the most important question is, how do we make money from it, right? Well, let me give you another very simple example of how it happens, right? So let me hide myself for a second. Okay. So once again, it all starts with a dental clinic. The system is far more complex. The numbers are not 100% accurate. It's just purely for example purposes, okay? So dental clinic says that they are ready to pay, for example, $1 for every user that was successfully attracted to their website, right? Let's say, as I said before, someone clicked visit website, they successfully went here. It means that dental clinic pays $1 for that user to Google, right? Then Google, as a person that made this whole happen, as a company that made this whole thing happen, takes 20 cents from that dollar, leaving us with 80 cents, right? Then Google says to Domain Active that, hey, I got paid from the dental clinic. Here's your cut, essentially, or here's the rest, right? So Google gives 80 cents to domain active, and domain active, as another player in this whole chain, says, well, I helped host the pages, I did so much, I will also take 20 cents, right? So they take another 20 cents, and then they give to us as the end stream advertiser 60 cents, right? So this is our revenue. We have 60 cents revenue for every attracted user, right? And the idea is that if we spend at least, like, let's say 59 cents, or in this case 50 cents for per attracted user, or CPA in this case, cost per action. In this case, it can be CPU, like cost per user, right? If we spend at least 50 cents, for example, to attract that user, we will have 10 cents profit, you know? And make this whole operation a million times, and you have a very nice sum of profit. And that's the idea. That's how we make money on this whole thing, by just doing this process again and again and again. So I hope this brought some understanding onto what search arbitrage is about, how do we make money from it, and how does this whole thing functions. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I would love to see you in our next tutorial. Thank you.